I'm Steve Hill, and I'm the CEO at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority.
Perfect. Um, and just let's go ahead and just jump right into it here. It's been gone viral now that um, you guys have given the Aces players $100,000 each player individually. Just talk a little bit about, who that is that gave this to these players and what started this initiative.
Well, and I'll answer the second one first. We are the organization that markets Las Vegas. And so, for example, the What Happens Here Stays Here, what didn't happen in my tenure, but the ad agency that we use on our partners is responsible for that tagline 20 years ago. And they were responsible for this idea. They came to us on May 2nd and said, we've got an idea that we think will be great marketing for Las Vegas and capture this moment, because really I think many people think we are in the midst of a moment where women's college basketball is really on the rise. I mean, a lot of eyeballs watching women's basketball at this point, both from an NBA or from a college standpoint as well as a WNBA standpoint. Um, and frankly, Caitlin Clark coming out of Iowa and going into the NBA and getting a $76,000 paycheck opened people's eyes and brought a spotlight to the disparity in pay. And we wanted to capitalize on the success of the Aces, the fact that they're the first world champion from a professional team in Las Vegas. They're a bunch of kind of recognized and great people in
Mhm.
our city. They're great spokespersons for Las Vegas. We think there's some things that we can do in the future with them that will even amplify that. And also take the opportunity to bring a spotlight on Las Vegas for capturing this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And with you saying, the things that they could do in the future for the city of Las Vegas, just talk a little bit about what this team means to the city of Las Vegas.
Well, like I said, they are the first world champions that a professional league that this city has ever had. Now they are back-to-back world champions, and we've added the Golden Knights in between those championships, and that was fun too, and that matters. But their success and the quality of the players on that team matter to the people of this city. And I think particularly, and I'm not an expert at this, but I think they matter to the women of this city a lot. And I've heard it now in the last 24 hours repetitively. It's been emotional for the team. It's been emotional for women in the city. I think more than women, but particularly for the women in the city. All of that matters in what we're doing with them.
Yeah, and with that being said, too, you sort of touched on, Caitlin Clark and how people were saying, she's going to be making X amount of dollars. With you guys bringing this forward and showing that you are backing this team, would you say that you hope that other cities too will maybe kind of join in and back their programs as well?
Well, you look at what's happening in college athletics with NILs, and you get those
Sure.
collectives that are providing that kind of funding for college players, and that was, I think, part of the roots of this idea. Kind of saw what was going on in college and thought, we could play that role here, um, and so yes, we do hope this is the start of something that people see this idea as something that they can capitalize on too. It'll be to the benefit of them and the benefit of the players out there, and ultimately, I think, lead to the growth in women's sports.
Absolutely. And with that being said, too, I know it was mentioned in the video that, all of the agents were aware that you were speaking with the ladies and that you were doing this for them. Just talk a little bit about, how that came to be and who helped you guys make that announcement, for those ladies to let them know that this is what we want to do for you because you're doing so much for our city.
Yeah, and actually, we worked the agreements out with the agents prior to it. I mean, we surprised the team and the players with the announcement. Obviously, you could tell by the reaction
Mhm.
that they didn't know that was coming. Um, but we needed to work that out with the agents to make sure that this was an agreement that worked for both sides. It's relatively straightforward. Once we got in touch with the agents, they were very enthusiastic about this. I wasn't directly in those conversations, but
Mhm.
I know that they were certainly very supportive and thought this was it's novel, it's helpful for their clients, and they were thrilled. So it didn't take long to get that done once we um, got in touch with the agents. But we made the deal with the agents, and then we just asked the team if we could come over and make an announcement to the team.
And with that being said, too, Steve, you mentioned that it didn't take long speaking with the agents and then making that announcement with the players. But overall, as a collective, how long did you all, as far as the committee, take to, talk about this and then put it into play to give this announcement to them?
Yeah, the first time we heard about this idea was May 2nd.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So, and we've got a few other things going on here that we had to work on too. But it took 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and we got it done in 2 weeks. So when we get a good idea in Vegas, we know how to move quickly on it.
And with that being said, did you all have to speak with the WNBA at all about this? Was this something that you guys spoke to them and then you spoke to the agents, then you spoke to the aces, and then now here we are with making this grand announcement that has so many people excited about this because women's sports are finally being invested in?
No, we did not speak to the WNBA. Didn't see any particular reason that we needed to. Obviously, athletes get sponsored all the time, and it's just a sponsorship deal. Um, so we didn't see the need to talk to the WNBA about that. We wanted to move on this quickly. We thought originally that we would make the announcement at today's game that was televised, but felt like it was a better opportunity to have a conversation with the players after practice yesterday.
Yeah, and two, you consistently have mentioned that they are back-to-back champions. Of course, they won today's game. It was a great game against the Sparks. Talk a little bit about, you guys making that announcement, and then now these ladies go on to pull off this great win. Just how much you guys are looking forward to this season and possibly a three-peat.
Well, it would be fantastic if they three-peated. That happens so rarely, and
Hmm.
it's so hard. Winning one is so hard to do. Winning back to back is as tough as it gets. So it'd be great. As I said, when we talked to them, that'd be icing on the cake. That'd just be fun. They're going to be great spokespeople, whether they win the third world championship or not. We're certainly all in Vegas rooting for them to do that. They've got a great team. Chelsea's hurt. She'll be back during this season. That's going to help a lot. So they're playing great already. They've got a fantastic shot at it. But we value them very highly, whether they win a third or not.
Yeah. And then before I let you go to Steve, you mentioned the team, how great they are. But let's talk a little bit about Asia Wilson and how, is sort of the face of the league. And now it's been announced that she's getting her own shoe, getting her own line with Nike. Just talk about that and just how much Asia also means to women's basketball and the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah. She's not only getting her own shoe, she's designing her own shoe.
Hmm.
That's very cool. And she deserves it. Because, she's not only one of the greatest basketball players in the country, regardless of NBA, WNBA, college basketball. I mean, she just, she dominated in spurts today and has for the last number of years. but she's just a great presence on the court. She's a great presence with the team and a great presence in the community. And so she's not only great at basketball, she's a great human being, and we're very proud of her in this city.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Of course, especially because this was, a quick turnaround for you to do this. The announcement went out today, and then now, of course, we're wanting to do this. So I appreciate you for taking the time to speak with Women's Hoops Network about this. Our main initiative is, of course, to elevate women's basketball so people can see how great all of these ladies are. And we see that you guys are, of course, seeing that and helping other people see that as well. So we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us.
I appreciate the opportunity to be with you anytime.